Daab of Daab Creative, and I want you to subscribe to Raze Chaos.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and yeah. Got a little late start today, but don't worry. We're still coming at you. We're still coming with a bunch of videos for you. December's going to be chock full of extra content. We've got obviously, even my weekly wrap-ups are appearing to be more work than they normally are. But, Raze doesn't always have double or nothing weekends, and he doesn't always have Wednesday videos going on. As much as he'd love to have those every freaking week, he doesn't. He does this month, though. So, we're going to get into this, just wanted a little bit of a... just wanted to avoid explaining why this video is late. Yeah, why did I even bring it up? But anyway, today's going to be a lot of fun because we've got a very, very interesting character to look at right now. One that a lot of people don't know much about. The thing is there's really not a lot to know about him. We are talking about DC's Weasel. And, the Weasel... mostly known from the Suicide Squad movie and the Creature Commandos. But the character's history kind of goes back a little further than that. So let me go ahead and put this guy away and we will talk about it.
Weasel.
So John Monroe, otherwise known as the Weasel, was a very spindly, scholarly type. He kind of got the nickname due to his physicality. He first appeared in, I believe it was 1985 in The Fury of Firestorm. So, when you really look at it, it's just kind of like, Firestorm, transmutation, fire, everything. What's this little freaking Weasel gonna do to him, Oh
my God, is it a werewolf? I wanted to meet a werewolf forever.
The story was that John Monroe essentially got tired. Basically being harassed all the time growing up turned him into a bit of a sociopath. So even though he was working in a university along with a lot of his former bullies, it had affected his mind so much that he was constantly sure that they were all plotting against him. As a reader, you knew that they weren't. He was just getting really, really out there. And he basically fashioned himself a little weasel costume with complete with claws and fangs. And he then went on to terrorize his former bullies, and one of whom being Martin Stein, who, if you know your DC lore, that is half of Firestorm. And it's revealed when he finds out that the Weasel's coming for him, and the reasons why. Martin Stein has no recollection of this individual to begin with. It makes you wonder whether any of the bullying that has been tormenting him ever happened to begin with, and was he just crazy? But essentially, obviously, just being a skinny man in a suit, scratching people up, slaughtering people. he was very murderous. Going for revenge like that doesn't take long for a super being who can transmute elements to eventually put this guy away. You know, just like, yeah, he's just a sociopath and a single member, you know, Firestorm was the youngest member of the Justice League. It's just kind of like, yeah, if he couldn't handle that, who could? But what was interesting about that is what led to the big bait and switch that Raze went through when he watched the Suicide Squad movie. So, being incarcerated, the Weasel was chosen for a Suicide Squad mission. And he, you know, obviously he was brought on his like little bloodthirst. They let him have his stupid little costume, whatever. But the thing is they were trying to, it was a covert op. Nobody was supposed to know what they were doing. They had a couple characters, like the Thinker was one of the characters in this one. A character called Psy was in it, who was a Supergirl villain from the early 80s. I think maybe Mr. 104, but I'm not 100% positive. But just a lot of D-list superheroes as usual, being led by Colonel Flag on this island. And one of the first things that they do when they get there is the Weasel comes and tears the Thinker's face off. And just because he was talking smack about him, he was just like, you know what, I'm not going to take your crap. You know, that's what he does. He kills people that say bad things about him. And of course, the mission kind of goes completely awry. The story itself is actually in the Suicide Squad / Doom Patrol special. And that was part of the story, is that the Doom Patrol showed up basically on the exact same mission. And they ended up hooking up. The only big problem was that most of the Suicide Squad people were dying. And with not wanting to be the guy that was left out, Rick Flag actually grabs the Thinker's helmet. Because, you know, unlike the movie, the Thinker had a helmet in the, in the comics. And he put it on only to have the Thinker's last wish, which was the last thought going through his head, was that the Weasel had to die. So, boom, the helmet just automatically blasts and takes the Weasel out and kills him instantly. And Rick Flag immediately pulls the helmet off, going, I didn't mean to do that, and that kind of thing. But, yeah, Rick Flag was the only one to survive that mission. So, going into the Suicide Squad movie, and knowing that the Thinker is a character in the movie, and seeing that the Weasel is in this movie, you know what Raze was waiting for. He was waiting for that conflict, that to happen, and it never came. But so much of that movie, Raze is going to try not to go on to it, but so much of that movie referenced that comic series, that John Ostrander run, that it was easily forgotten about how it was the easiest way to bait and switch Raze, because he was just like, oh, I know what's going to happen now. And that's not what happened. Biggest surprise being that in the after credit scenes, the Weasel, who essentially drowns at the beginning of the movie.
Did anyone check on whether the Weasel could swim?
Coughs up some water and he's still alive. Yeah, that was basically the end of the Weasel in comics. He did make I believe he made a New 52 appearance at some point. Not really fleshed out, because again, he's just a psychopath or a sociopath in a freaking Weasel costume. There really wasn't a lot to him, and you know, it wasn't till James Gunn decided to pull him into the Suicide Squad that I mean, he just basically left everything that had come before in the dirt. Basically, this Weasel is known as John Doe, and it is assumed that he was a regular man before becoming this hybrid weasel slash person. You know, he exhibits behavior of both like a dog and a cat. I mean, like I said, the biggest name they have for him is John Doe, which is basically a name you give somebody that you don't know their name for. They mentioned in the movie that he has killed like 27 children.
Not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know, we got him to, I think he's agreed to do this.
You know, seems to drown right at the beginning of the movie, then shows up and coughs a bit and wanders off into the nothing. Comes back in the Creature Commandos, where he's basically put on a mission again, and he just basically hacks and wheezes, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense as to why he's there.
Oh my God, is he pissing? He's pissing! You son of a bitch! God, it's on my leg! Look at the satisfied look on his face. No one thought to take him out for a walk after a long trip?
He's almost just purely like a domestic animal for the most part. They mentioned that he had killed 27 children.
He was accused of
And convicted.
and unfairly convicted.
Okay.
But then they say that he hasn't exhibited any violent tendencies since then. But of course, in the show, he actually does have some violence because he fights alongside the Creature Commandos. And that's what makes it a little more curious, because at one moment you have him basically following the person that hands him treats and behaving like a domesticated animal. And then he is the one who decides to go at the last, go and save the day as far as that mission goes, to rescue the princess, where he basically makes his way in and attacks Circe. Who is one of the biggest and baddest Wonder Woman villains. I mean, she has, and one of her specialties is actually human-animal hybrids. So it made very little sense as to why the Weasel's able to basically blindside her and, you know, just scratch her the hell up and almost kill her. And it's just like, how much does he understand? Because half the time he's licking his nuts. The other half, he is, you know, catching treats. And now all of a sudden he's completing the mission that you didn't even really know if he understood or not. He does get this nice little backstory where you see him befriend a group of like 8 or 9 kids who goes to play in an abandoned house that catches fire.
Yeah. Well.
You! Stop! Get away from them kids!
And when he came back, all they saw was the Weasel dragging a little girl out of this burning building and assumed that he had eaten her or killed her. And that's how he ends up in prison to begin with, which is really kind of what the heck, because, you know, it's supposedly he slaughtered like 28 children, and now you see him with 8 children that basically ended up dying, and he tried to help one, if not all, before he was unable to. So being that the Suicide Squad was was really kind of the first introduction to the James Gunn verse, and then the Creatures Commandos is to more or less expand more upon that before the official Superman movie came out and launched it. It is curious to see what he's doing with this character, because to just have it weirdly there and doesn't really serve much of a purpose. I mean, he does come in handy towards the end, but like he served no purpose in the Suicide Squad movie, and all they did in the Creature Commandos was to make you ask more questions about what the heck this is. This has nothing to do with the comic book Weasel. So again, being as how it's actually Sean Gunn, who is James Gunn's brother, actually plays the Weasel, makes you wonder, well, that just tells me he's going to be in more movies, because James Gunn always puts his brother in his movies. That means this character is going to come back and possibly be fleshed out more, because yeah, we don't know much of anything, and at this point, this is an actual like werewolf or weasel or whatever the heck he is. There is no clear definition on what he is, and that's a far cry from the guy in the weasel suit. So yeah, it's just one of these things that we're gonna have to watch and understand. So we'll all be learning about him as it comes, because this looks like it's gonna be a primarily cinematic character. Probably appear in more of the movies and some of the series, depending on where James Gunn puts him. But the question as to whether James Gunn is going to make a story out of this version of the Weasel or not, that's still up for grabs. But, Raze trusts James Gunn. So he is very, very happily along for the ride. And didn't really realize that I was going to go on that long about it. But let's go ahead and open this guy up and check him out. This was a character that I wasn't really 100% positive I'd ever have a pop of, and now that I do, it's not the character I thought he was to begin with.
Yo, is this a dog?
So here we have his little growling head and everything. They gave him a full-on head with a big, with the weasel features and everything. Nice big tail. Yeah, he's essentially naked. He looks exactly like the animated version from the Creature Commandos. Before you ask, no, he is not an original member of the classic Creature Commandos that came out years and years and years ago. We all know James Gunn likes to make new out of the old, and Weasel was not a character of that. And honestly, Weasel had only showed up one time in the Suicide Squad, and that was the one where he ended up dying. So yeah, it's really kind of a crapshoot, but I love the way they designed this character, and I love the way they've got him looking. And for as much as you kind of feel like he's a throwaway character, because, he doesn't really do much, they do just enough to make you wonder more about him. So yeah, this is a new addition to Raze's DC collection, and Raze is going to do his obligatory, would love to have a comic accurate version of him. That one wouldn't be naked. But at any rate, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you again, because we are going to go over a lot of different characters. We've got lots of stuff coming at you. Not 100% positive what the Friday video is going to be, but we'll figure it out very soon. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying your holiday season, and never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.